Moose! We got cleared for season 2 of Haargus Cooks! Season 2! Haargus Cooks season 2, Moose! Season 2! Do you know what that means? It means waffles! It means you need brown sugar and regular sugar. You need buttermilk and regular milk and baking powder and eggs and malted milk and all-purpose flour and regular butter and iodized salt. And you need a waffle iron, you Oh my god, you know what season 2 of Haargus Cooks means, Moose? Season 2 of Haargus Cooks means you get to eat cookies out of my hand. Woo-hoo-hoo! Season 2 of Haargus Cooks! Oh my god. Season 2 of Haargus Cooks means I got a brand new sofa. Do you see this, Moose? You see the brand new sofa? Oh my goodness. Oh, look at how excited he is for season 2 of Haargus Cooks. Oh, look at him put his hands up. Season 2 of Haargus Cooks. So before we start, here's a little fun fact about waffles. The word waffle actually comes from the ancient Scandinavian word weifel, which basically translates to it got cooked on a thing. And it's called a weifel because they cooked it on these things called weifel shields. So ancient Scandinavian Viking warriors actually used to have shields that looked like this. And this is nothing like Chinese jianbing, because that would be a cop-out for a story, wouldn't it? But what they would do is they would put a bunch of milled dirt and boogies. They just blow their nose. They just blow their nose into a bowl and put some dirt in it, and then they'd make. I'm telling a story. So yeah, basically you put generic batter made out of that shit on one of these. It's a waffle, but you cook it in something else, and you basically just call it whatever you cooked it in. So yeah, let's start making our batter by get the fuck out of here. I don't want that. You can go somewhere else. I don't care. I don't need milk right now. You need flour. You start with flour. All right. So in this bowl, we're gonna combine our dry ingredients. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take 1 cup's worth of stuff that has 3/8 worth of brown sugar and 3/8 worth of white sugar, and then 1/8 worth of malted milk powder, and then you just kind of make the rest work with salt. There you go. You got your dry ingredients, and then maybe like 1.5 cups of flour. I think that sounds right. Probably 1.5 cups. I think that's a teaspoon of baking soda, and then you can just, you know, make a little smiley face in that or something. Make a little smiley face. See that? And then you're gonna take this butter. Just wait. Oh, hold on. Oh, okay. Wait 1 second. Let's just. All right. Ugh, gross. So here you can see the milk fat and the protein and all the other shit and butter starting to separate. And as that starts to separate, you can see it kind of start to caramelize. And once that butter turns a nice nutty golden brown, then you have brown butter. Isn't that exciting? Hey, Moose, can you move, please? Can you go over there? Can you a little bit further, maybe? No? Oh. Okay, well, anyway, in this cup, I have 1 cup of buttermilk and 1 cup of whole milk. You got 1/2 cup of brown butter, 2 whole eggs, and then what I'm going to do with these 3 separated egg whites is I'm going to put them in this bowl for this stand mixer. I'm going to put that down, and I'm going to start whipping these into a meringue. So maybe in like, I don't know, 4 minutes, maybe in 20, I don't know what I'm doing, you'll have a meringue. Well, I was just notified by the committee that this technically isn't a meringue because there's no sugar in it. So, I don't know, 3 minutes. How long did it take? 3 minutes? 4 minutes? 2.5. 2.5? 10? 55 minutes. 55?
9 hours.
9 hours? All right, maybe after like 4 minutes, whipped egg whites. So you have all your dry ingredients here. You can pour the eggs in. You can pour the brown butter in now that it's cooled off a little bit. Pour your milk product in. Oh wow, it's really starting to look like a generic batter that you can cook in whatever you want and then call it whatever you cooked it in. All right, once all of your ingredients are whisked together, you want to add your whipped egg white into the waffle batter, and that'll make it real fluffy. Also, don't ask how I'm doing this with both hands, but the technique that you want to employ to mix all of your shit together is likened to treating a nice woman or man or person out to dinner. You just got to treat it very gently and caress it, and you just kind of give it a little pat, and then every single time you give it a little pat like that, you fold the egg whites into the thing so it stays nice and fluffy, but you don't whip any of that air out, because if you whip air out of your first date, they probably won't want to go on a second date with you. All right, so backed by real historical fact, I'm going to take this very generic batter, pour it into my waffle iron, thus making waffles. Are you... What? What are you crying? It's just waffles. All right, so about 3.5, 4 minutes later, we have ourselves a delicious waffle that I struggled to take out of the waffle iron. Now that we've cooked it in a waffle iron, I'm going to show you some unconventional ways to cook this same batter to get really delicious results. All right, our first recipe... cooked in a microwave, so we're actually just making microwave. 2 minutes maybe, and you'll get yourself some delicious microwave. Check it out, you got a cute little spongy microwave. Ooh, it's so moist and delicious. Would you look at that pan? Doesn't this look really good? Just look at that texture from the hot oil. Plain old pan boring for ya? How about blowtorch in a pan? Wow! Disgusted with what you've become with your life? Just cover that shit in sugar and burn it all away. Yay! Well, you know, if you put grease in this or something, it probably would have turned out all right. But hey, would you look at that? You got a rice cooker! Wow! Hey, hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Haargus Cooks. Stay tuned for the rest of season 2. Maybe it'll come out in a week, maybe in a couple months, I don't really know. Anyway, I made this rice cooker look like a crab. Isn't that exciting? Wee!